Gentlemen, welcome to our Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time, whatever time. Uh, we're going to be picking up back up from chapter 13, verse, good number, 1313. We got Paul, we got Larry. Hopefully, we will have DL from Clubhouse and Osama. So before we get started, oh man, my internet is saying one bar. Let me play our intro. Okay.
That rocks. I love that.
I know. Hey, do you know that I'm still paying for the subscription, and I haven't even seen if they have anything new, and I haven't done any more. I've been kind of slacking off. Hey, Marion. Yes, that's right. It's midnight for her. All right, let me remove this from the studio. If DL is in the audience, I posted the link. If you need the link, I'll post it again. Okay, okay, I'm gonna have to switch. I wish I had two computers. I should connect my big screen to this one here so I can have side by side, because I've got like I think a 24-inch or something monitor that one of the neighbors here gave me when he moved, but I hardly ever used it. All right, let's see. Okay, let's get down to the business. We are in chapter 13, the chapter of the thunder, and we're on verse 13. According to Osama, the thunder is angels worshiping Allah. Man, they're loud.
Let's see. It sounds like a party. I mean, if they're worshiping, it sounds like they're having a wild party. I mean, you've ever had somebody living up above you and they're having a party and, you hear that pounding on the floor? Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Well, you know, it's funny. There was a couple of stories growing up. One of them was like the thunder. That was the angels playing bowling upstairs.
Yeah, I remember hearing that one.
Yeah, and then the angels with the thunder, I forgot what that one was. But yeah, so apparently those are the angels. Maybe they are shooting at each other. Let me go over here. Okay. And the thunder praises with his praise, and the angels. Okay, but if thunder is the angels, why does it say, and the thunder praises with his praise, and the angels for fear of him? So it sounds like the thunder and the angels are not exactly the same.
Well, the thunder praises with his praise. I guess the thunder by itself praises. It's kind of weird the way it's worded, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the thunder praises with his praise, and the angels for fear of him. So they're not really doing this because they really like Allah. They're doing this because they fear him.
They're afraid he'll kill these eternal beings or harm them or make them suffer.
Well, I guess, going further on. And he sends his thunderbolts.
I guess he's Zeus.
Yeah, so he smites with it whom he wills, while they dispute concerning Allah. Well, we better not dispute Allah, because he might smite us with a thunderbolt. And he is severe in prowess.
That sounds exactly like Zeus.
I know. I mean, I swear to God, reading this stuff is like I should be reading Shakespeare. To him is the call of truth. Okay. Now, I'm assuming this. I mean, is this Allah speaking?
No, it's humor with that. Okay, truth is separate from Allah. That says something. I mean, that says Allah can lie to you easily. We've already heard him say it.
Right.
But, the God that Christians love and that Jews love, he is truth. There's a huge difference here. So this is not the same God that they keep saying that Allah is the same God as Jehovah. Sorry, your God doesn't even. he talks about, he's okay with lying, and here we have. Let's read that again. He to him is the call of truth. Wait a minute. So, I mean, it almost implies he doesn't know what it is. The call, and he has to go figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. And those who call on other than him, they will not answer them at all, except like as the one who opens his hand towards the water, that it may reach his mouth, and it will not reach it.
Doesn't make much sense.
And
I
what is
don't feel like I learned anything.
I don't know. And what is the call of the infidels except an error? Now, if
wait a minute. Wait a minute. We just saw that there was a call of truth, and then if you're getting a call of truth in your God, that says you don't know what truth is. So how does he know that the infidels don't have it?
Now, okay, so you open your hand towards the water that it may reach his mouth. Okay, so you open the hand towards the waters.
I don't even know whose mouth we're talking about.
I have no clue. Now, is he reaching towards the water? Like, is he in a lake or something, or a river or a stream? I mean, I
could go jump in the lake here. I mean,
and to Allah worship all who are in the heavens and the earth willingly and grudgingly, and their shadows also, morning and evening. Okay, but wait a minute. If everything worships to Allah, how come Iblis didn't worship to Allah? Because remember, when Allah told the angels to prostrate to Adam, Iblis was the only one that actually did the right thing, and he didn't worship Adam or prostrate to Adam, which is a form of worship or
it's obeisance. Obeisance is you're bowing down and serving, and you're praying, or you're giving honor. That is what Christians and Jews are forbidden from doing to anyone but God.
Right.
And that is, I mean, that's.
And it doesn't matter if you want to worship Allah willingly, because whether you want to do it willingly or not, according to this verse, you're going to do it anyway. And your shadows are going to do it too. Now, could somebody please tell Allah's shadows are not physical? So how does the shadow how does the shadow worship Allah?
Well, here's my question.
Let's go ahead.
What is a Muslim? What's the definition of a Muslim?
Well, if you ask a Muslim will tell you a Muslim means a submitter to the one true God.
Okay, but so you did the Big Mac video on this. Don't some verses use the word prostrate or submit? So wouldn't this mean that everyone is a Muslim according to this verse?
Yeah, and your shadows are also Muslim.
Oh no! I beat my shadow in submission if it dared.
Well, given that the shadows only come out if there's light reflecting at a certain angle, so how can a shadow worship Allah when a shadow is not a physical thing?
Well, this just betrays Allah doesn't understand science.
Yeah, Allah doesn't understand anything. Okay, and okay, so in the morning and in the evening. Well, in the evening it's supposed to be like dark or not sunny, so you're not going to get any shadows in the nighttime.
Well, it depends on where you live. It all depends on where you live and what time of the year it is.
Yeah, I don't think Allah knew that. So, okay, so all of the stuff that we just read, that was Allah speaking.
Whoa.
So Allah is the one that said, and to Allah worship all who are in the heavens and the earth willingly and grudgingly. Because in 16, now Allah is telling
he's not supposed to have any partners, so how can he be? Yeah, that's a good question.
So 16, Allah says, "Kul," or say. I guess he's talking to Muhammad. We don't know, because this is the story of the thunder. Maybe thunder is also a prophet or messenger. Who is the Lord of the heavens and the earth? Say Allah. So he asks the question and then he answers the question.
Which, we do that in Christianity. We call it catechism.
Yeah.
But we do it for the purpose of teaching doctrine. and helping people memorize scripture. But
say, who is the Lord of the heavens and the earth? Say, Allah. Say. Boy, there's a lot of says. And oh my God, look at this one. This is a doozy one. From 16 to 17. Say, have you then taken friends other than him who do not own to themselves profit or harm themselves? Have you taken?
That's kind of bizarre.
Have you then taken friends other than him? Oh, okay, so that goes back to the friends. Okay, now it makes sense. Say, are the blind and sighted equal? Or are the darkness and the light equal? Or have they made partners to Allah, who have created as he created, so that the creations appear to them like his? Say, Allah is the creator of all things. He is the one, the dominant.
Hey, wait a minute.
You know what? He didn't see. Okay, if he's a creator and he creates things that are blind, and he's saying creation, he doesn't. He doesn't seem to have very much conceptual understanding of blindness, or too much he doesn't understand in these verses. He's too small a God. I'm sorry, just too small.
Have you noticed that this makes no sense, but it does kind of rhyme?
It probably, yeah, it might sound nice poetically, but other than that, it doesn't teach you anything or give you any benefit from reading it.
Or have they made partners to Allah, who have created as he has created, so that their creations appear to them like his? So who are these other creators? I thought Allah was the only one who could create.
Well, Allah,
wait a minute.
And that's what, yeah.
I thought Allah was the best of creators.
Well, again, he implies there's more creators.
That's what the Quran says. He is also of the spreaders of the earth. So that means he had some help in spreading it.
He couldn't do it on his own.
I mean, he had to take a break. Okay, 17. He sent down water from the heaven, so the valleys flow with its measure. So the flood bears along a swelling foam, and from it, that which is molten in the fire for the sake of ornaments or utensils arises a scum like it. What the hell? Likewise, Allah will set forth the truth in the vanity. So as to the scum, so it is gone in vain.
Well, scum is something you would take off, like the foam. They mentioned foam. So you think about a flood and there's foam on top of it. That would be the scum. And that's usually the stuff it's usually disgusting stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And
as to
stuff.
Yeah. And as to what is useful to the people, so it abides on earth. Likewise, Allah sets forth the parables. What parables?
This is another bad. This is really, this is quite a statement when you think about it. If he's trying to talk about silt, he doesn't understand the difference between silt and scum. Now that's problemsome. All right, scum floats, foam floats. Silt is not. It's what's left after a flood. It is not this. This is where Allah doesn't understand basic science again. That the silt is the mud and stuff that was mixed in the water. It wasn't floating.
I don't know. I guess DL left. He's not on the show because I can't.
I like Marion. The text oozes of Allah being capable of grasping more than 2.5 dimensions. I think you're even giving him credit that he can understand more than one.
No. Okay, I was going to say chapter 18. Verse 18. To those who answer to their Lord, the good, and to those who do not answer him, if they have what is on the earth together and like it, with it, they would give it for their ransom. I've noticed that this chapter is long, so maybe that's why it's only 43 verses.
It's because but it's not necessarily long. It's full of nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, what value did you learn from this? I mean, to those who answered to their Lord the good and those who did not answer to him, I mean, where's the value in this? Have you learned anything? If they have what is on the earth together and like ransom, okay, you get ransom for, you stole something or you took something and you want to be paid for it.
So what did they steal from Allah?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I guess this is the stuff. I mean, this is just, unfortunately, it's supposed to be full of understanding and clear, and none of this has been clear and no benefit for reading it so far.
I'm still blown away how Muslims keep telling me on Clubhouse that this book is like, it's got all the answers. You got to read it. You got to read it with an open heart. I'm like, no, I got to read it with my brain still working.
Okay, if you have a brain, even if you have half a brain, you can see that something's clearly wrong here. And as we've been saying since we started, this is written by someone who really doesn't understand Arabic. Yeah, it doesn't really understand it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure fifth graders could put something together that's more coherent than this.
I get a better story from a third grader.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Those will have the evil reckoning. All right. And hell will be their abode, and evil is the bed. Okay, but evil.
Wait. You know what? I wasn't being fair. See, the third grader has more education than the guy who wrote this.
I mean, evil is not a physical thing. So how can evil be a bed?
Yes.
A bed is a physical.
Well, we talk about you've made your bed, now lie in it. It sounds like he's trying to take,
maybe this is the reason why he talks about parables just before at the end of verse 17. All right, 19. Is the one who knows that the truth has come down to you from your Lord like the one who was blind?
That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Okay, if it is the one who knows that the truth has come down to you from, like the one. Okay, so their concept of truth is lies. I mean, that's almost what that tells us.
No idea.
Yeah.
Surely only the ones with understanding remember.
Then why are we reading this?
I mean, why even put this into a book? Because I mean, only the ones with understanding. Okay, that must be the sheiks. Sheikh footnote. Sheikh footnote.
Let's shake them up.
What did she say? Imagine using the Quran to cheat on your test. Yeah, you get a nice big F. Okay. And those who joined what Allah commanded with to be joined and fear their Lord and fear the evil of the reckoning. And those
Allah likes fear, but those to join what Allah, I'm just not getting any place with this.
See, but that's it. We don't know what Allah commanded to join.
What did Allah command here? Those who join,
I don't know.
I mean, there's nothing been commanded. We do know that Allah likes fear. He likes the concept of evil and reckoning, evil of the reckoning. He likes the idea of torturing people. Maybe that's what he's getting excited about. I don't know.
Well, do we know what the covenant of Allah is? Have you guys covered that yet?
I don't think Allah has a covenant. He talks about it, but I don't know what the covenant is.
He hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
So people are supposed to follow a covenant that Allah didn't tell them what it is. Interesting.
No, he keeps talking about the covenant with the prophets, but we don't know what that covenant is.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, this is why we're doing this verse by verse. If the Quran is clear, if it, that it's a clear communication device, it should, right here, like you said, it says those who fulfill the promise of Allah and do not break the covenant. What's the covenant? I mean,
okay. Now we know that God made a covenant with Abraham, and one of the things that he had to do is everybody in his household and everybody that was underneath him had to be circumcised, right?
Yes.
Now in the Quran, we know Muslims are circumcised because they say they're following Abraham. But nowhere in the Quran does it even mention Allah making a covenant with Abraham and requiring his, all his, all his
Foreskin
people
being
to
removed. Yeah.
be circumcised. So, so
They
why are
don't
they doing?
understand. They don't understand.
But why would they be doing something that's not in their? It's not a revelation from Allah. Where is the revelation that says that Abraham circumcised himself and everybody that was with him, and that was the covenant that everyone going forward was to be circumcised? That is not. I think I'm going to do a room on Clubhouse and title it "Why Do Muslims Circumcise?"
And they'll tell you it's in the Sharia. That's
no, I no. I'm hoping that we get some Quran only ones, because that's going to be a good one. The Quran only guys and gals. Yeah, I want them to show me, why do Muslim men circumcise when Allah never commanded that it would be a requirement to be circumcised. Okay, okay, so 22. And those who patiently seek the face of their Lord and perform the prayer and spend from what we provided them secretly and publicly and turn away the evil with the good, to those the reward of the final home.
Does that make any sense to you?
No.
Those who patiently seek the face of the Lord. Okay, I can get being patiently seeking God. Okay, perform the prayer. Oh, and their concept of prayer is not talking to God. It's repeating a mantra, basically, like very Hindu-like, and spend from what we provide them secretly and publicly, and turn away the evil with the good. I mean, I've heard, I guess I would equate that with the concept of, throwing out the baby with the bathwater type thing. But again, Allah is not clear. The Quran is not clear, unless you count mud clear.
Yeah, that's why XYZ was correct. This is the clearest mud book. Okay, and those who patiently, the final home 23. Eden's gardens they will enter. Wow, there's how many gardens of Eden are they?
Well, it says Eden, and there's
but this is gardens
in Eden. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there's lots of gardens in Eden. Okay, but I thought Eden was just one garden, one big one. Okay, they will enter it with the good among their fathers and their wives and their descendants. But wait a minute.
And this is another statement about polygamy. Eden's gardens, they will enter with the good among their fathers and their wives, plural, and their
So let's say a Muslim is married with 4 wives. So he goes up there. But how do you know? Well, we know Muhammad's father and mother are in hell because they were polytheists.
Well, we also know that Muhammad's father wasn't his father. It's not possible.
That's true too.
But Muhammad will never know that.
And their descendants. Okay. Yeah, but
he's such a good prophet, he couldn't tell who his daddy was because he couldn't figure out his mom. He couldn't be pregnant for 5 years.
Yeah, I thought the male Muslims get 72 whores, not their wives. Okay. Maybe their wives are part of the horde of 72, so they really only get.
Oh, I guess they get turned into hori, but we're never told what creates a hori.
Well, I think there's something that says Allah is going to have to pull the women out of hell because the majority of the women in hell. The majority of hell is women, and I guess he's got a shortage of horis, so he's going to have to get the women from hell. And he's going to have to do some reconstructive surgery.
Oh, it could be worse. They might have to share their horse. Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
All right, 24. Peace be upon you because of your patience. So blessed is the final home. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, we heard about somebody having to be patient, and the angels will enter them from every. Okay, this is just weird.
Okay, now
aren't angels afraid to go into a house?
Yeah, if it's got a dog or a
dog, yeah.
Okay, now this brings up Larry's question, verse 25. And those who break the covenant of Allah after its confirmation and cut what Allah has commanded to be joined and vandalize on the earth, those will have the curse and will have an evil home. But what covenant? What covenant did they break?
Oh, let's
and
see.
they're going to have an evil home. So they will get a home, but your home is just going to be evil, whatever that means.
Well, if evil, like we look at today's society, evil means good and good means evil. Oh, gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So you're making out pretty good is this way, but
so 26, Allah expands and measures the provision to whom he wills. So again, this is a crap shot. How do I know how to get on Allah's good side? Because he might not
it's
measure.
not necessarily how do you know, is it worth it, because he doesn't care if you.
Yeah.
I mean, he rolls the dice every time he's, there's no particular guarantee. Even Muhammad wasn't sure.
And they rejoice with the world's life. And what is the world's life in the hereafter except enjoyment? Okay.
We talk, this is the other thing. They rejoice with the world's life. We're told not to take this world as our final place. We're not supposed to be interested in the rewards of this life. Yet here he's excited about the rewards of this life. That's kind of tells you that Allah is a physical creature, or is influenced by physical things.
Yep. Okay. Allah deliberately misleads those whom he chooses.
Oh, wait a minute.
Man, that's not a God that I want to follow, because I don't know.
Why would you follow him if he's going to mislead you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like, that's
and
like
at the end of the day,
I gotta be totally stupid because I'm going to follow the guy who's going to deceive me.
and at the end of the day, you don't know if he's deceiving you or not.
Yeah, that's
right. Verse 27. And those who became infidels say, were it not that a sign had been sent down on him from his Lord? Say, surely Allah misleads whom he wills, and he guides to himself those who turn.
Hey, what does verse 27 actually mean?
And those who became infidels say, were it not for his sign had been sent down on him from his Lord. I think the infidels are questioning Muhammad as to why he didn't have a sign. Because, all the other prophets had, did all these signs and miracles, and Muhammad had nothing. So Allah tells Muhammad to say, surely Allah misleads whom he wills, and he guides to himself those who turn. Turn what? I guess turn to Allah. Those who believed and whose hearts are secure with the remembrance of Allah. Is it not by the remembrance of Allah the hearts are secured? How do you secure your heart? Where's it going?
I would say, well, in the Christian world, we believe that the heart is, what you want to be solid is in your heart. Where is the core of the person? Where is where your heart is? I think this is kind of somewhat backwards, though. I think it's not necessarily even understanding that basic concept. But then I'm not surprised, because, as we keep saying, I think the person who wrote this didn't understand Arabic as their native tongue.
Yeah. Okay, 29. Those who believe.
Can we go back to 27 real quick? So,
yeah, sure.
If Allah, so to me it says that Allah's not giving them a sign because he's misguiding people. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, Allah guides.
Well, Allah doesn't ever give a sign to say, look, Muhammad's a real guy, a messenger. He doesn't give him a sign to, there's no confirmation. There's no miracle ever for Muhammad. So,
right. And that's what I'm saying. So this is what Allah is saying, that he didn't give people a sign because he's misguiding them. So to me, if Allah didn't give Muhammad a sign, that's telling me that the Muslims are being misguided.
Yeah,
that's a very good point, because nowhere in the well, Muslims will tell you that Muhammad's only sign was the Quran. So you could say he was given a sign. He was given this messed up book that makes no sense.
Yeah, that's clearly not clear, yeah. Unless you count mud.
I mean, if this is a sign, I would return it. That's kind of like buying
hey, I want my money back.
Buying something at the store, and as soon as you get it out of the box, it breaks, then you got to return it because it's just crap. That's what this sign is. Okay, so 29.
Well, it's a sign that's definitely not from God.
Yeah,
yes.
How about that?
Yeah, call your Amazon delivery person, send it back.
Those who believed and did good deeds, good fortune be to them and a good return. I cheated. I looked at number 5 before.
I just did too. So.
And that's the last one in the chapter, so I don't have to worry about it. Right. Likewise, we sent you to a nation. Indeed, other nations have proceeded, so that you might recite to them what we reveal to you, and they are becoming infidels and the merciful. What does that even mean?
Infidels. Okay, so they're becoming disbelievers. We just look infidels as people who don't trust or believe in Allah or Muhammad, and it's the first pillar that kind of partners Muhammad with Allah. So if you don't believe in either of them, you're an infidel, or you don't believe in one of them, you're an infidel. Okay, so they are becoming infidels in the merciful. What are they? Oh, wait, it can't be Allah. Allah can't be the merciful. That makes you wonder they keep saying Allah is the merciful, but if they're infidels in the merciful, it's almost contradictory.
But if you read into it, maybe I'm just misreading into it. Verse 30 sounds like people are becoming infidels from the things that are being revealed to them, because it says, indeed, other nations have proceeded so that you might recite to them what we reveal to you, and they are becoming infidels and the merciful. So Muhammad is revealing to these people, and Allah is saying they're becoming infidels. Why? Why would you become an infidel?
Because Allah doesn't know what Allah doesn't know.
So now Allah tells Muhammad to say, he is my Lord. There is no God but him. On him I depend, and to him I return. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's enough to convince people not to believe.
Yeah, sure. And if there is a Quran by which the mountains could be made to move, or the earth to be cut by it, or the dead spoken to by it, yet to Allah is all the affair.
Wait a minute. There was no Quran at this point, and if there is a Quran by which the mountains could be, we could say if there is a citation, a recitation by which mountains could be made to move, or the earth be cut. It just doesn't make sense, because the Quran didn't exist as a book, which the mountains could be made to move. Still, just like.
Well, we know Allah is only one affair belongs to Allah. The other affairs must belong to somebody else. I think it should say, yet to Allah is all the affairs. But okay. Did not those who believe despair that if Allah wills, he would guide all the people? So the reason that we have problems between, groups, individuals, nations, is because Allah was bored and he needed to watch some turmoil on the earth. And still those who became infidels will be afflicted with calamity because of what they have done, or disaster may fall closer to their homes. So the disaster is not going to do anything to their homes. It's just going to come near them, but it ain't going to touch their homes, because, until the promise of Allah comes. What promise? Oh, the promise that Allah is going to come back? Okay. Surely Allah does not change the promise. Okay. Well, that's not true, because Allah told Muhammad to tell the Muslims they could only marry 2, 3, or 4 wives, but I guess he changed the promise.
Wait. Did Allah just lie again?
Yeah, he did.
Allah does not change the promise, but remember earlier we were reading and he was talking about the concept of abrogation that he gave us.
Yeah, but Allah seems to only abrogate in favor of Muhammad. Not in favor of the followers, because like I
Not in
said,
favor of himself either.
they could only marry 4, but Muhammad could have as many as he wants. Allah did away with adoption, so now kids can't have a real family or be treated as
Was
one
it 2 and
because
3 and 4 and 5?
what dude tells me that basically is they can marry 2, 3, or 4, which adds up to about 9.
Yeah,
So
that's
they
what we
can have
figured.
9 wives.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, Usama says the exact same thing. It's too, it doesn't. You got to add those numbers together. It's not. It's our concept would be you can have one of those,
Right.
but the real truth is the word "or" means you can have all 3.
Yeah.
When we're looking at logic, and that's how that actually is interpreted, which is interesting.
Okay, 32. And indeed they scoffed at my messengers before you. So I delayed to those who became infidels. Then I seized them. So how is my punishment? I don't
Allah
know.
didn't know how his punishment was. So Allah doesn't hand out punishment, or does he?
But why is he asking, so how was my punishment? It's kind of like me spanking my kid and turning around and saying, so how'd you like that spanking, son? Allah is asking, or Muhammad,
was that a good spanking or a bad spanking?
Yeah. Did I spank you hard enough, son? Do I need
do it again?
Do I need a thicker belt? What happened to DL? DL was here, then DL left. All right, I guess he didn't want to come on the show. I'm sure he's probably on Clubhouse. So how was my punishment? That's stupid. Why are you going to ask somebody how was your punishment? What punishment?
It's just so clear that Allah doesn't know. And he hasn't even told us what the punishment was. That's the other thing. How was my punishment? Punishment for what?
33. Is he who stands above every soul because of what it earns and made to Allah's partners?
So who stands above every soul?
What the hell does that even mean? Is he who stands above every soul? Is he?
Who's he?
I don't know.
It's not clear according to this. I mean,
No.
Is he? I mean, if they're referring to Allah, okay, let's try that. Is Allah who stands above every soul because of what it earns and made to Allah partners? That doesn't make any sense either.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I
so
don't know.
If we try Muhammad, is Muhammad who stands above every soul because of what it? So, I mean, you're having a problem with pronouns here.
Well, is it the partners that the verse is talking about?
Well, that's the point. You're asking another good question. What is the verse really talking about?
I don't know. Okay. Now Allah turns around and tells Muhammad, say, name them or inform them of what they do not know on the earth or what is revealed from the saying. Okay. Name them. Name what?
Name who?
Name the punishment? Tell them about the punishment?
Or of what they do not know on the earth. How is he supposed to tell them? Or I guess he's supposed to give them a name or tell them what they don't know.
Are these people nameless? Muhammad's going to say, hey, you're Mo, you're Larry, you're Curly.
Okay. We could start with that one. Inform them of what they don't know. You're going to learn slapstick.
There you go. Yet their deception is beautified for those who became infidels, and they were prevented from the way. And whom Allah leads astray.
Deception is beautiful.
I'm telling you. Your deception is going to be beautified. Maybe throw in some roses and some lilacs or something.
So, I will say this: deception is an art. We pay people in every government in the world pays someone to engage in the art of deception for the purpose of protecting their own government or deceiving their own people or both. And I mean, just doing intelligence analysis, you learn and you see those things. So, yeah, deception and something seriously wrong with a perception with a religious text teaching deception is beautified for those who Now, this is the part that bothers me. For those who became infidels, so it was beautiful. The deception was beautiful for them because they left. All right, they noticed it. That's what it tells me. They saw the deception and they left.
They realized Allah was a joke. Okay, and whom Allah leads astray, he will have no guide. So what's the purpose of having a messenger if Allah is saying that, hey, if I lead you astray, nobody's going to be able to guide you. So Muhammad can't guide you back to Allah because Allah is leading you astray. So what's the purpose? Does Allah say, hey, that guy there is led astray, don't talk to him. That one over there is okay, you can go and okay, well, if that person is already guided, why do you need a prophet to guide? See, you don't need a prophet to guide the people that are already guided. You need a prophet to guide the people who are not guided. But then Allah is the one who misguides you, and nobody can guide you. So, I mean, right? You would send messengers or prophets to people who are misguided. You don't send somebody to teach people that are already believing and doing the right thing. You send them to the people who are not doing the right thing to teach them to do the right thing. But Allah gets it all reversed.
Yeah, and that's where, I mean,
he doesn't
he's always sending prophets. I mean, he has a belief that there's all these messengers going out, but
I mean, can you see why 124,000 messengers have to be sent? That tells me that Allah's messengers sucked.
They didn't communicate clearly. They actually read the Quran to people.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Don't forget, oh yes, Mo, Larry, Curly, and Shemp.
Yeah, that's what got me laughing.
Well, hey,
okay.
Doesn't it go back to Muhammad not doing signs? So basically what you guys are just talking about, that maybe Muhammad's true message was to misguide people. It all keeps seeming to going back to that.
I mean, could be. I mean, I don't know.
That's if the Quran is Muhammad's only miracle, then his gift is deception. Which again, if it's beautiful deception, that's why the infidels have left. That's why they are infidels. They left because they saw the attempt to deceive them.
I mean,
when you talk to people who leave Islam and they actually, they go back and they look at, they never really read the Quran before. That's what I find is interesting. They never really read it without, they're only allowed to read it in Arabic. But they look at this and they just marvel. How stupid was I to actually believe this? I mean, this is what I've been told by the people who leave Islam. But there's a lot of good Facebook groups for people who leave Islam. And
unfortunately, I can't do anything in those groups because I'll lose my only account.
I go and I listen. It's kind of interesting, and I'll make a comment here and there. But when you're quoting the Quran and you ask people to explain something and they can't, and everybody else is mocking the one who trying to say it's clear, it's funny.
I wonder if I just went to one of those groups and just posted, say, "Hey, I'm looking for Muslims who can prove to me that the Quran is not man-made." I mean, I can't get in trouble for that. I haven't insulted anybody. I'm just asking. Yep. I'll have to try that, but I'm like, man, you see what happened with me? Well, Twitter was the people on the left that got me suspended.
Look at Guppy here. I left Islam when I was 8. I don't know how they keep lying to themselves.
Wow, 8? Wow.
Well, as we've been saying, it doesn't take a genius to see that a person who wrote this really didn't have Arabic as their first language. Yeah, it just, yeah.
I mean, it'd be kind of interesting to find out why Guppy left. I mean, 8, that's most of the Muslims that I know that have left are like adults. Some of them in their 30s and 40s. But
yeah, a lot of the ones I know that left because they were, I know at least 2 women who left because they were basically sold by their mothers and fathers as child brides.
Wow, that's gotta. I mean, could you imagine your parents doing that to you?
I'm thankful I'm born male.
I know.
Yes.
Okay, so Allah leads astray, and who he leads astray, they have no guide. To them is the torment of the world's life, and the torment of the hereafter is harder. And they have no protector from Allah. So Allah is the one that's forcing these people to go to his hell so he can torture them for misguiding them. So these people, I mean, this is abuse.
We keep reading that Allah likes to torture people.
I mean, this is abuse. You mislead people, okay? And then you're going to punish them for misleading them. How is that their fault? You misled them. You provided them no guide because you said they will have no guide.
And you said you only guide who you will.
You know? I mean,
it's another reason. I mean, he's basically saying, be infidels. I don't care. It's right. Why should you follow a God who doesn't care about you?
Okay, 35. The parable of the garden which the Pharaoh has promised, or has been promised. Rivers flow under it. Its food
they never
and
have
its
rivers flowing above the ground.
I know. Its food and its shade are permanent. This is the end of the Pharaoh, and the end of the infidels is the fire.
Okay, so that's the end of the fear. Are we going to have Allah stop talking to us about being, wanting us to be fearful?
And it's just amazing me. How can you say rivers flow under it, under the garden? I mean, is the garden like on the hill, and then the rivers are like below it? I mean, I don't know.
Hey, this is a scientific miracle. Allah knew about underground rivers.
Oh man!
Well, if you're a desert people, that's where the rivers are.
Yeah, come on, Larry. Now they're going to use that on me. Now they're going to tell me, you see, miraculous. Allah's talking about rivers that are underneath us.
Well, they knew about this for centuries before Allah before Allah was invented.
Yeah,
that's like how they got through the desert. There were certain places you would go, you dig down. Jamie Buckingham wrote a book about something about the wilderness, going through the wilderness, and talks about. And he's actually gone on trips through the deserts, and the guides will go and they'll dig in certain spots, dig so deep, and they'll find this underground water. So, that's in a desert. I'm not saying you'll find it. You have to know where. So, yeah.
36. And to whom? Oh, I'm sorry. And those to whom we have given the book. What book? We don't know the book. We know it's not the Quran because the Quran is not a book. Rejoice in
not
what.
That point.
Yeah, not that book. And rejoice in what has been sent down to you. And some of the parties deny a part of it. Say, surely I am only commanded to serve Allah and not to partner with him. To him I do call, and to him my return. All right, I want to know what that book is.
Let's try this. Surely I'm only commanded to serve God and not to partner with him. Well, if God asks you to make, to do something, does that not make him your partner? I mean, if Muhammad says Allah told him to do something, that would make him a partner. Correct?
I would think so.
Yeah, I mean, the only one I know of that actually gets the title of partner is Muhammad, which under their rules make him guilty of shirk. But it's in the Quran over and over again. It's in Hadith over and over again. It's not something we're making up. It's just actually there.
Hey, Marion, I think the thing is that in Allah's Eden, right? Everything's covered with trees, so you always have a shade, right? So that's why it says it's a permanent shade, because you're like, the trees are so tall that it kind of makes a shade, and that shade is always there. Not that the sun doesn't go through, and remember, we're not talking about the earth now. This could be, Allah's jhana, the laws of physics or whatever you want to call it, doesn't apply there.
Well, I mean, maybe he has a long day every day.
Well, that would be funny, Jesus. If hell is dark, but hell is full of fire, does that mean it's fire that doesn't give off light? I mean, you can't have fire and no light. That kind of defies
Well,
the.
you can have, yeah, you can have an invisible flame. So I would, yeah,
So
I know that much. You can have a fire.
Is Allah's fire made out of like what is it, hydrogen or helium? Because I believe those are flameless,
That's a
which
good
wouldn't give
point.
off any light. Well, I mean, they just give off light. You just have to, yeah, but that would be that would.
Marion, I'm up north. I'm in New York. Boy, do I know what snow is.
He's got trees and snow. Okay. I hope you have a lot of warm clothes for the winter because, oh, Europe is in for a bad one. That's what you get when you piss off the. Oh, that reminds me. Another thing that Trump said that was true. When he said that Germany was dependent on Russia for gas and
Oh
oil,
yeah, and
and they
oil.
were saying they were making fun and nodding, and guess what? Yeah, let's see how that you're not dependent on Russia. See how that's going to work out for you. Okay, the Quran is sent down in the Arabic language. If so, why are there so many foreign words in the Quran? That is a good question that we're going to have to add. That's another good topic for a room on Clubhouse.
Oh, invite Usama. He would have fun with that.
I know.
That's one of his favorite topics.
Okay, well, cool. Maybe we can do, if not on Clubhouse, we can do one here just on the foreign words in the Quran.
Yeah, that's something he would love to do. It's one of his favorite topics.
I think I have the book that has. Well, he's got it in his, but
it's in the Quran that his translations. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I also have a book that deals with the 200 and something.
That,
Okay, so let's see about this. And okay, we're still on the same chapter. Okay. And likewise, we sent it down a judgment in Arabic. And if you followed their desire, after what came to you from knowledge, you will not have any friend or protector from Allah.
Oh, so wait a minute. Okay, he sends down a judgment in Arabic, and if you follow desire that came to you from knowledge. So if you use your knowledge, you don't get any protection from Allah. So even if you listen to the judgment in the Arabic, and if you follow the desire that you get from that knowledge, Allah doesn't like you. So don't listen to what's written down in Arabic. Come on.
And indeed, we sent messengers before you, and we gave them wives and descendants. I wonder which other prophets had a 6-year-old wife. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to find out. And it was not for a messenger to bring a sign except by Allah's permission.
So wait a minute. This is where it gets humorous. So the messengers bring signs. They don't come from Allah. I mean, it's one thing to get permission. It's another thing to bring something by yourself. And they're saying the messengers can bring their signs. So they're the cause of their own signs. That's
but they got to have Allah's permission.
So they don't have. I mean, so everything is by their own strength,
right?
Rather than Allah's strength. That's quite a statement.
Yeah, because Muslims don't understand. Permission means that you have the capability to do whatever it is already exists.
Yes.
And I like to use the analogy of my son can drive a car, or he knows how to drive a car, but he can't drive my car without my permission. So by my giving him permission doesn't mean that he doesn't know how to drive the car. He's still going to drive the car on his own because he knows how to drive a car, but he needs my permission. Now, this one is kind of funny. For every period is a book. How many periods? How many books?
I'm totally clueless as to what their real meaning there is. I mean, I have I have a few ideas, but that is so unclear. I mean, it could mean many different things.
Yeah, and what exactly is the period? Is it like 24 hours, 365 days? And I
The
thought for
time
every
period
nation,
of decades, or are we talking about centuries?
I don't
Or
know. I mean, if you
thank
had
you for having
120,
an unclear Quran.
if you had 124,000 messengers, now granted, only prophets get a book.
You're
So
garbling. You're garbling.
I'm garbling.
Yeah.
It must be my internet. Yeah, my internet connection is. Is somebody
All right.
hogging my internet connection?
All right.
Can you hear me?
Let me read this next part then.
Well, hey, can I say one more thing
Yeah,
about
go ahead.
Allah's permission? If you look at 5:16 in the Quran, Allah needs his own permission to do things.
So, I mean, the funny thing you got to ask there, if Allah needs permission and he doesn't have a partner, that implies that he's been lying to us about not having a partner. Oh, boy.
But he's lied to us about a lot of things, unfortunately.
Yep, that's exactly it. Allah has a right to erase his words, even though the original copy of the Quran, that's what we've been doing. Allah has a right to erase his words, even though the original copy of the Quran is with Allah. This contradicts chapter 15, verse 9. Allah erases what he wills and confirms with him. He is the mother of the book, the master copy of the book. That's what Usama has here. And this doesn't make sense. Allah erases. This is the abrogation thing again. He erases what he wills and confirms. Okay, so you can't trust anything Allah says. Oh, he erases what he wills and confirms. How do you know what he says can be ever trusted from what?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if Allah has, if what Allah has with him is the mother of the book, does that mean the Quran is the father?
The master copy, the original, I guess, is what that is. I remember Usama and I covered this at one point, but I can't remember all the details on that one. They're referring to the original.
Yeah, I don't know why my internet. Well, the weather's kind of crappy here. Why my internet is showing slightly no bars. And I have to complain to Infinity because they bumped up my price. You know how that deal is. You get a good deal for 1 year and then bang.
Yeah,
okay,
my internet price just went up. Yeah.
Well, mine went from, what was it, 35 to 64?
Oh, mine's a little bit higher.
I'm thinking of going to look at T-Mobile. T-Mobile has that 5G, but I hate 5G, but we'll see. Okay, did we finish 40, chapter 13?
We're into 40 now.
Oh, okay. Let me put it back up because I thought you had.
Okay.
So where did we leave off?
And verse 40, and whether we show you some of what we promise them, or we cause you to die, so surely your duty is only to deliver, and on us is the reckoning.
Okay, to deliver what? I guess the book.
We don't know. Okay, whether we show you some of what is promised, we don't know what's promised. Okay, because he's telling us we don't know what's promised, or we cause you to die, but we don't know why you're causing us to die. So surely your duty is only to deliver, and deliver what? Yeah. And the only thing left is the reckoning. Okay, time for torture.
Now, if Allah erases what he wills and confirms, and with him is the mother book, does the mother book have the erasures? Or did he abrogate the mother book?
That's what it looks like. I mean, so no one can ever look at the original because Allah thought it was so badly made that he had to hide it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's show that would be something to do with one of those rooms about. If Allah can't be trusted to give you the original because he thinks it's so bad, What does that say about his book? Wow.
And why is Allah erasing his revelations? Does that mean that he
Because
messed up?
people discovered they were lies.
Oh, okay. So he had to hide them. Okay.
He's a false prophet about himself.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, you left off at 41. Okay.
Yep.
Or did they not see what we come into their lands and lessen its borders? Or they did not see that we come into their land. Who's we?
Who's they?
Okay, and that we come. Okay. Or they did not see that we come unto their lands and lessen its borders. Shouldn't it say we came?
Well, we're talking about, second language issues again. Yeah, that's past and present, and future tense. We have issues with, and that's what happens when you have people using second languages.
And what does he mean? What does he mean by lessen the borders of the land? What does that mean?
So if we look at this is just I'm just picking on the way the society is today. People come through a border, and you lessen the borders by more people coming in. So what happens in Islam, they have a doctrine called the hijra, the migration. And in general, that is used to create a jihad. All right. And there's a lot of scriptures that mention the hijra. You have the hijra, then you have the jihad. Well, if you don't migrate to someone's land, you're committing a war on your own property. That's not something you want to do. So you migrate to another property, which is what hijra means. So that could be what they're talking about.
Okay, and Allah judges, and no one can reverse his judgment, and he is swift in the reckoning. All right, and indeed, those before them deceived, so to Allah all the deception. Okay, so Allah
can deceive even himself.
He knows what every soul earns, and the infidels will know to whom is the reward of the final home.
Hey, you know what? The infidels get the reward. Are you hearing this?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so the infidels get the reward, and Allah's followers have the deception. That's how I'm reading this. I mean, that says something. So it pays to be an infidel.
That's right.
It's in the Quran, people.
43, and those who became infidels say, you are not a missionary. Say, Allah is a sufficient witness between me and you, and whoever has knowledge of the book. I don't know what book it is. Okay.
It didn't tell us.
And what does being a missionary have to do with Allah is sufficient? Okay.
Well, anything that proves that Allah isn't sufficient, I guess.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have just finished chapter 13, chapter of the thunder. I should have gotten some, special effects of thunder. Okay. Chapter 14, Abraham. Okay. I was going to read that. Okay. We start off with the first boo-boo in the Quran, a word containing 3 Arabic letters that don't mean anything. Alif, Lam, Ra.
And only Allah knows. That's why the Quran is just as clear as mud again.
I know. A book we have sent down to you, that you may bring people out of the darkness into the light, by the permission of their Lord, into a way of the dear, the praised.
Wait a minute.
What book?
Wait, okay. We don't know what the book is.
Now, who did he send the book to?
He's looking for this a little slower. A book we have sent down to you, that you may bring people out of the darkness. So he's got a particular person he's given it to, right?
Is it Abraham?
And by the permission of their Lord. So the person who's speaking, this is where it gets really funny. The person who's speaking is speaking of a third person who is their Lord. So if this is Allah speaking, who is Allah's Lord?
But okay, so the chapter's called Abraham. So is Abraham the one who got the book?
Well, that would make it the Torah, but again,
Well, no,
Abraham did not write any scriptures.
Now, Abraham wouldn't have been the Torah because the Torah was Moses.
Yeah, and that's much later.
Yeah. But I'm told Abraham also had a book. What book? I don't know. Okay. So bring people out of the light as the deer in the praise. Allah, to whom what is in the heavens and what is on the earth, and woe to the infidels from a severe torment, and woe to the infidels from a severe torment. Come on.
Wait. Okay, so are the infidels having a severe torment, or are those who are not infidel having a severe torment? I mean, read that again and think about it.
It makes absolutely no sense.
It sounds like the infidels aren't having the severe torment.
Right.
It's somebody else, and they're like, "Oh, woe is me," instead of woe to. Yeah, that's what it almost sounds like.
Those who prefer the world's life above the hereafter and prevent others from the way of Allah and seek to make it crooked, those are far astray. And we have not sent any messenger except with the tongue, the language of his people, to show them. So Allah leads astray whom he wills and guides whom he wills, and he is the dear, the wise.
I wonder how many times we've read this. I mean, I don't know. This is chapter 14.
Okay, right? Notice it says he always sends a messenger to the people with the tongue of the people. So when Muslims tell us that Muhammad was sent to the whole world, well, that's a bunch of crap, because Muhammad would have been only sent to his people speaking their tongue. He wouldn't have been able to speak to anybody else because nobody else would understand.
Well, now, this is just... It says here, again, how many times do you have to see this? I mean, it's in the Quran over and over again. Allah leads astray whom he wills. So Allah doesn't care about people. He's okay with deceiving them. And he guides whom he wills. So it doesn't matter if you're a good follower of Islam or not. It's, Allah flips a coin, and decides who he's going to guide. I mean, that's basically it. It's who he wills. There's nothing you can do to make that right. That's the uniqueness of this little God.
Okay, now here's something very funny. The story, the chapter is named the chapter of Abraham, right? Mm-hmm. So one would expect that this chapter is about Abraham, correct?
Yes.
But all of a sudden now it says the story of Moses and Pharaoh is copied from the Bible and is corrupted once again. What does Moses have to do with Abraham?
Well, I got to remind you that Allah has a chronological impairment, which is something you'll see, and very rarely, but you'll see that in some learning disabled students. So Allah has a bad learning impairment of not getting things in chronological order. Besides not getting the story right 100% of the time.
I mean, all of a sudden, I'm thinking that this is Abraham, and then I come to 5, and it's talking about Moses. And indeed, we sent Moses with our signs that bring forth your people from the darkness to the light and remind them of Allah's days. Surely, in this are signs to every patient thankful.
That doesn't make any sense. Nope. This are signs to in this. But Muhammad didn't have any signs.
To every patient. Now, to every patient, are those people like in the hospital?
I think they're talking about the concept of being patient, but it doesn't follow.
Yeah. I mean, what does Allah know?
Not very much, apparently.
Okay, 6. And when Moses said to his people, remember the grace of Allah on you when he delivered you from the family of Pharaoh.
Wait a minute. Moses. Okay, wait.
So apparently Moses has already left Egypt.
This is just bizarre. And it's not the family of Pharaoh he's being delivered from. It's everything about. I mean, it's not just Pharaoh, they were enslaved by the entirety of Egypt.
Yeah, he's being he escaped from the Egyptians who were ruled by a pharaoh. Okay, because Pharaoh is not a name. Allah thinks that Pharaoh is a name. Right? Laying on you an evil torment and slaughtering your sons and sparing your women.
See, this is what you call projecting.
Yeah.
This is what the Islamic way of thing is. They would
they
slaughter the boys. They slaughtered
they kill the males and keep the women.
Yeah,
actually they do keep
slaves,
they do keep the boys as slaves too.
Well, they only kept the boys that didn't have pubic hair.
Right. So if you had one pubic hair showing at the age of 10, well, guess what? You got your head chopped off.
Well, who is the you in this verse?
Remember the grace of Allah on you. Well, since this is supposed to be Moses speaking, even though it doesn't say, we have no clue what Allah is doing. But I'm assuming the you would be the Israelites that were saved or delivered from the family of Pharaoh, laying on you an evil torment and slaughtering your sons and sparing your women. And in this, and in this was a great trial from your Lord. Okay, so the kids being slaughtered and the wives being spared was actually a test from Allah to see, I guess, what you would do. And when your Lord announced, if you give thanks, I will surely increase you more. But if you become infidel, surely my torment is severe. And Moses said, now this is the first time that Moses is actually speaking. If you and all who are on earth be infidels, so surely Allah is rich, praised. So
wait a minute. If everyone's an infidel, Allah gets praised.
And he's going to be rich.
So why follow Allah?
I'm reading this, and Moses is saying, but if you all who are on earth become infidels, so surely Allah is rich and praised. Why would Allah be rich and praised if the whole world becomes infidel? I thought that was the whole opposite of what the purpose of the Quran and Moses.
So there's another one to start a chat room around. Okay, verse 8 was 14:8. Let's have some fun. Okay.
Oh man. Okay. Number 9. They put their hands in their mouth, not over their ears. Let's see why this. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Now we're going back to Noah and to Ad and Tammuz. Holy crap.
Like I said, this is the God who doesn't get chronological order. And I think it's hilarious because, there's verses that just simple verses where he gets all the characters and gets them chronologically wrong. He puts them in the wrong order. And again, you'll see it here as examples in one chapter. He doesn't know what comes first.
Seriously, who named this chapter Abraham when so far we've read about Moses and the Pharaoh? Now I'm going to read
now we're going to Genesis 6. So we're going back in time.
Now I'm going to read about the people putting their hands in their mouth and not over their ears. Have you not received the news of those who were before you, the people of Noah and Ad?
Okay, wait a minute. Has anybody ever heard of any group of people called the people of Ad? I mean, there's no record of this people of Ad or Thamud. There's no record.
And of those who are after them, no one knows them but Allah. Okay. And their messengers came
because they're made up.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. Their messengers came to them with proofs. Apparently, it was not good enough because nobody
didn't last.
Yeah. So this must be what it's talking about. So they returned their hands in their mouths and said, "Well, if they put the hands in their mouth, then that's
talk with your hands in your mouth.
That would be mumbling. Surely we became infidels by what you have been sent with."
Okay, you sent us with lies. You gave us lies. so we don't believe. That's that's how I take that. Again, this is where it's getting humorous because Allah has already told everybody, hey, the more people that become infidels, or is it Moses that said it, the more Allah is happy. Okay, let's stop believing in Muhammad and Allah so everybody can be happy. Okay, so that's what 14:8 says. And now he has a passage where these people put their hands in their mouths and became infidels because of what you sent us.
Now, who's saying surely we became infidels? Is that the people of Noah? Is that the people of Ad? Is that the people of Thamud?
It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'm looking at we became infidels because of what had been. I mean, what was sent with what was sent to them. That says something. We doubt what you. I mean, if they're doubting Allah, again, Allah now can have a party. Let's go back up to verse 8 again. Let's look at that verse 8 again. They can have that party. Oh, jeez. This is funny. All right. So, verse 8, and Moses said, if you and all who are on the earth can be infidels, so surely Allah is rich praise. Okay, so Allah is not wealthy because
he can't be wealthy because of in the book, Muhammad is saying, who can lend Allah a good loan? So clearly he's a destitute.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Allah is physical. So yeah. All right.
All right. So they returned their hands in. Let me go back up because this doesn't make sense. Okay. So they returned their hands in their mouth. They returned from where?
Maybe from in their ears where they weren't listening.
They returned their hands. Okay, I'm not even going to bother that. Okay, surely we became infidels, but by what have been sent, by what you have been sent with. Who sent?
Again, if it's a poorly communicated message, that's one of the reasons why they don't believe Allah.
And surely we are in disturbing doubt of what you call us. I don't know what does he call them?
If anybody can
okay,
Mr. Clear Communicator has just proven that he can't communicate.
Allah will forgive some of their sins. How about the other sins? See also verses 46, 31, 71, 7. We'll get to there one of these days. All right, 10. Their messengers said, okay, messengers. I thought each nation or each group had a messenger. Okay, their messenger said, maybe Allah is saying that these other people, their messengers, is there doubt about Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth? Yes.
That's why we have infidels.
Yeah. He calls you to forgive you some of your sins and delays you until an appointed time. I don't know what that means.
So you only get some of your sins forgiven. We're not telling you which ones.
Yeah.
Oh, because
but Allah says he forgives all your sins except shirk. Now he says he calls you to forgive some of your sins. I mean, I don't know. They said that you are but humans like us. They said that you are but humans.
Wait a minute. Are we saying that? Okay. All right. So this is supposed to be messengers claiming they're humans. Okay.
They said that you are but humans. Yeah, but you is singular. Humans is plural.
You can be a plural.
I'm not sure on this one it is, but okay. We don't know who that you is. We don't know who's they, but that's okay. That's Allah's wisdom. That you are but humans like us, and you desire to prevent us from what our fathers were serving. So bring to us with a manifest authority.
Not really clear here.
No, bring to us with a manifest. Oh, okay, that's an incomplete sentence there. Okay. Their messengers said to them, don't follow Allah. We are confused.
Oh, you know what? Going back to that part about the message, I don't know if you saw Darcy's comment, but the question about those hands.
I'm not on StreamYard.
Oh, okay. She She wrote, "Are they putting their hands in their own mouths or each other's?" Oh gosh.
Hey, it could be
She's not wrong.
it could be as bad as the one that says when you eat, have somebody else lick your fingers. Although that's not in the Quran, I think that's a hadith. Finger licking good. You don't want your person across from you from eating to be left out. Here, you suck on my fingers, I'll suck on your fingers. All right. So their messenger said to them, "Surely we are but humans like you, but Allah gives favor on whom He wills of His servants. And it was not of us to bring you an authority except by Allah's permission, and on Allah, so let the believers depend." All right.
Okay, wait. So their messenger said to them, "Surely we are but humans like you, but Allah," here we go, "gives favors." Okay, we got Allah there. "And it was not to us to bring authority except by Allah." That's 2. Okay, and now we're on Allah, so that's 3. Oh, wait a minute. Are we talking about a united
It's a united front.
Oh.
Okay, 12.
Does Allah have other Allahs?
Yeah. I mean, could be the other creators that we've read. I can't remember what chapter it was. Okay,
yeah,
12.
That's kind of a statement.
And it was not for us except to depend on Allah, and indeed He guided us in our ways. And we will surely be patient with the harm you put on us and on Allah. Oh, they put harm on Allah?
Physical people can harm Allah. Wow. I know we've read that before, but every time you see it, it's just kind of funny.
So let the depender depend. That's a good name for a diaper. The depender depends. Number 13. And those who became infidels said to their messengers. Okay, but wait a minute. If the messengers came to get them out of being infidels and they became infidels, the messenger didn't do a good job. They became infidels after their messengers came.
Well, it sounds like the more these people get a message, the more they become disbelievers.
That's the funny thing about this book. You're 100% right. And I mean, when you got such a bad prophet, I mean, he's not a prophet, he's a messenger. But when it's that bad, you just got to sit there and laugh. I'm sorry.
I mean, because the verse starts off and says, "And those who became infidels," which to me says they weren't infidels before the messengers. Right? It says, "And those who became infidels."
Exactly it. If you listen to Allah communicate through Momo, and you decide after listening if you're whether going to believe him or not, and all these people become infidels, disbelievers, because Mo was such a bad communicator or a bad storyteller or an incredible deceitful bastard. I'm going to say it because it's in here. It says he deceives, and the people who get deceived are who? And the people who make the wise choice are the infidels.
I mean, it seems like the more Allah sends messengers, the more infidels are created, because if it says, "And those who became infidels," that means they weren't infidels.
Well, right. It says also here that Allah is not all powerful because his communications are so poor. I like what he said. I mean, his communications are so poor that they tell people not to believe.
Okay, and those who became infidels said to their messengers, "We will surely get out of our land, or you will come back to our religion." So their Lord revealed to them, "We will surely destroy the unjust." Okay. 14. "And surely we will cause you to dwell in the land after them." Okay, who's you? Cause you? Who are these people? We don't even know which. I mean, which messenger, which prophet is he talking to? Okay, 14. "And surely we will cause you to dwell in the land after them. This is for him who fears my standing and fears my threat." Allah likes to threaten people. 15.
Well, Allah is standing too?
Yeah. I guess he did stand. I mean, after
He sat on his big fat butt on that front.
Yeah, I mean, after sitting on that big butt of yours, you might want to stand up a little bit. 15.
Is he standing on his shin?
Yeah, does he have 2 feet? I mean, we only know he's got a shin and a foot, but he doesn't say, maybe he's got, he's got 2 right hands. I'm going to guess and say he has 2 left feet. Kind of even out the 2
right, partner.
kind of even out the 2 right hands, so you don't flop over to one side. Okay, but they sought invasion, and every powerful stubborn was disappointed. Man, that makes about as much sense as Okay, hell will be behind him, and he will be made to drink from pus water. Woohoo! Yeah.
How is hell behind him? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I have no clue. I'm not liking
that. I'll look at it this way. I mean, it might sound like it doesn't make sense, but if you're the great deceiver, your goal is to fill that place because you don't want to be alone.
Hey guys, I would suggest we all get life straws just in case, so that way we can drink from the pus water and not be contaminated. He will drink it sip by sip, and he can barely swallow it. And death will come to him from every place, but he will not die. And behind him, a thick, great torment.
Because you drank the pus water.
Yeah. Number 18. The parable
Isn't that like a kindergarten joke?
Oh. I don't even know a kindergartner that would fall for that. Let me put it that way. That's so disgusting.
The parable of those who became infidels in their Lord. Their works are like ashes, which the wind scatters on a stormy day. They cannot have anything from what they earned. This is the faraway era.
Okay. Does that make any sense?
Got a lot of errors in there. I have no clue what that means. But I'm not Allah. What's that? I got to learn that Arabic word that says Allah knows best.
Ashes, so, I mean, parables are stories that have meaning. Okay. Works are like ashes, the wind scatters on a stormy day.
I don't think Allah went to the school of parables.
I don't think he knows what a parable is.
I don't think he does.
We have yet to read one of these claimed parables where Allah actually knows what the meaning of it is.
I guess this parables are very short, like one sentence.
I think he heard that Jesus told parables, and this Allah, this little small God, decided, oh, I want to tell them too. But he didn't have a clue what a parable is.
Yeah. All right, 19. Do you not see that Allah created the heavens and the earth? Man, I am so getting tired of Allah creating the heavens and the earth with the truth. Also, I mean, could have been with a lie. If he wills,
he's not the only creator. If he's not the only creator, how did he create everything? But and he has to have, like we just said earlier, had to have some help spreading the earth out, and this just gets more and more funny. I'm sorry.
If to me, it must be that people doubted Allah being this creator of the heavens and the earth, so he has to keep saying it over and over and over again to try to get people to try to believe it.
What was that propaganda saying? If you tell a lie enough times, people will believe it. So that's why the Quran, Allah repeats himself because he says he must have taken a page out of that book. He said, man, if I tell a lie, okay, over and over, these people will actually believe that I created the heavens and the earth.
It's Hillary Clinton's favorite book. That propaganda.
Wasn't he a German Nazi guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Was it Gobel, something like that?
No,
it wasn't him. That's the other guy. If he wills, he could get rid of you and bring in new creation. Kind of like the hadith that says, if you don't sin, Allah will get rid of you and replace you with a new one. All right, 20. And this is not dear to Allah. Okay, so Allah doesn't really like get rid of you and bring a new creation. Okay, probably the nicest thing he said. They all went forth before Allah. So, okay, who went forth before Allah? I
Who's
thought nobody.
all? I mean, they all. Does that mean are we talking about all the infidels? Or are we talking all?
Yeah, but the day of judgment hasn't come yet, so nobody's gone forth before Allah, right? Because
Well, Allah doesn't know that, so don't tell him.
I mean, doesn't the day of judgment have to come first, and then you're resurrected, and then you have to deal with judgment? But here it says they all went forth before Allah. That means
Well, Allah's not. I mean, if we look at Allah being like a human creature, people can go before him.
Oh yeah, bowing to the idol Allah. Yeah, that would make sense. So the weak said to those who were proud, surely we were your followers. So will you then relieve us of some part of the torment of Allah? They said, it sounds like these people are talking to idols. So the weak said to those who were proud, who are these weak people? They said, if Allah had guided us, we would have guided you too. It is the same for us whether we be impatient or patient. We have no escape.
Now, wait a minute. So Allah's not guiding them.
No,
and they know enough to say, oh my gosh, this is nuts. Following Allah is nutsy. Why would you follow him? He won't even guide those who follow. Oh my gosh.
Hey, look, Satan comes into the picture. 22. And Satan said, when the affair was judged, what affair? Surely Allah promised you a true promise, and I promised you, so I failed. What did Satan promise? Why did he fail?
We don't know what Allah promised, so we definitely don't know what Satan promised.
And it was not for me to have authority over you, except that I called you, so you answered me. So do not blame me and blame yourselves. I am not crying out for you. You are not crying out for me. What the hell?
It doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of like, I do not worship what you worship. You do not worship what I worship. Okay. Surely I became an infidel. So I guess this is Satan.
Wait a minute. So if this is the Satan, the Lucifer, or whatever, this is the one who refused to bow down to Adam and commit an act of shirk, which Allah told him to do. It still makes me laugh. They make Satan out to be the hero in this story.
So all of this is Satan. Satan is telling them that he promised them and he failed them. We don't know what promise he made to the people or why he failed. And then he's telling them, don't cry for me because I ain't crying out for you. Surely I became an infidel, that you have partnered me before.
Wait. You have partnered, the people have partnered with them. Okay.
Okay. Surely I became an infidel, that you have partnered me before. Before what? Surely the unjust will have a painful torment. Okay, we know that already. And those who believed and did good deeds, admitted to the gardens, from below them their rivers flow. They will abide in it forever by the permission of their lords. They're greeting in it peace. Okay. The story.
So who's the permission there? Is that the permission from Allah again? Or who are they getting permission from?
Well, it says by the permission of their Lord. So I guess Satan is talking about Allah. The story of the tree is copied from the Bible and twisted.
Wow, I'm sorry. That one's just bizarre. Good deeds, admitted to the gardens from below. Okay, so those who believed and did good deeds, admitted to the gardens from below them, the rivers flow. I mean, it's almost... It flows so quickly. Admitted to the gardens from below. I mean, they keep talking more about the rivers that flow under the gardens than the gardens.
I guess the gardens is nothing but rivers flowing underneath them. Okay, this is Psalms 1. I don't remember some of that. The story of the tree is copied from the Bible and twisted into a pseudo parable. See Psalms 1. Okay. Have you not seen how Allah set forth a parable of the good work? Like a good tree, its roots firmly fixed and its branches in heaven. That's a tall tree. 25. It brings its fruit all the time by the permission of the Lord.
So I just think of an oak tree or an elm. I mean, yeah, I just think of an
Now,
elm tree.
Well, but wait a minute. An oak tree, that wouldn't really be considered a fruit tree.
Well, that's.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll look at a fig. We'll try a fig tree because that's where, that's what Muhammad's supposed to be familiar with. But even though there's no figs trees anywhere near Mecca.
now, does it mean that this tree that has fruit in it all 24/7, 365? Because, man, I'd like to have that tree in my backyard. Allah sets forth the parables to people. Perhaps they may remember. It must be a really crappy parable if they don't remember. And the parable of an evil word like an evil tree uprooted from the top of the earth, and it has no stability. Well, of course, if you uproot a tree, it has no stability. Allah will strengthen
Allah doesn't know that, so he has to be told.
But if you uproot a tree, you're uprooting it from the bottom of the earth, not from the top. Right? I mean, the roots are underneath the earth, not on top of it.
That's funny.
Okay, I guess Allah doesn't know that the roots of a tree are underneath, way down there. It's not on
but
top
there's
of the earth.
there's supposed to be a river under the tree. So
yeah. Okay, Allah will strengthen those who believe with a firm word and the world's life and the hereafter, and Allah leads the unjust astray. And Allah does what he wills, okay?
Allah's that big deceiver.
28. Have you not seen those? I wish you would stop saying, have you not seen? In order for me to see, I have to be present. And if he's talking about things in the past, I can't see. Have you not seen that those who change the grace of Allah to infidelity and cause their people to dwell in the home of the perishing? Does the house have termites? They will roast in hell. What are they roasting in hell? A bright yellow cow? And evil is the ending place. Okay. And they made rivals to Allah to go astray from his way. Say, I don't know who's saying this, but okay. Let's be Muhammad. Enjoy, so surely your final place is the fire. Say to my servants who believed to perform the prayer and spend from what we provided them, secretly and publicly. So do they have black markets? Because that's where you buy stuff secretly. And okay, secretly and publicly, before a day comes where there will be no selling in it and no friendship. I have no clue.
You're not wrong to say the concept of black market, because they mentioned selling.
I mean, apparently it's got to be a market, because there's going to be a time when nobody's going to be selling in it. And if you're going to be selling in it, it's got to be a place that you sell stuff. Maybe there's secret backdoor room, things going on there. Hey, I got a javelin missile for you. Give me 30 camels. All right, Allah is he. Okay, there we go again. How many times do I have to be reminded? Allah is who created the heavens and the earth and sent down water from the heaven. I thought water came from the clouds, but that's okay.
They have 7 heavens or whatever they want to do. The Gnostic concept. So that first level of heaven would be that level of the cloud.
Okay. So he brought forth by it some of the fruit. And he brought forth by it some of the fruit.
Okay, so the rain caused the fruit to grow.
So they brought forth by it some of the fruits. Okay, all right. A provision for you. I think that should be fruits. Allah could only produce one kind of fruit. Man, that's a boring diet.
Well, it's because we're talking about the God of the desert who never left the desert.
Yeah. So I guess in desert they only
Only figs. We don't hear about apples, oranges, whatever.
Well, actually, remember, there's no figs. We're in Mecca. There might be dates. The figs come further north. Fig tree, olives. Olives. Okay, and Allah made the ships subservient to you to run in the sea. Okay, wait a minute. Ships run? Okay, I guess, maybe that's like a slang.
The concept of ships and Islam, this is where it gets interesting, because I would ask to talk to Usama about this, because in Islamic history, they're afraid to go on the water. So
they learn really quick.
I want to come back. I'm going to pick on him later. Look at this one, because this is 32, right?
Yeah.
1432?
Yeah, 1432.
So I'm going to pick on him there.
Okay, so the rain from the heavens. Okay, so he brought forth by it some of the fruits and the provision for you, and he made the ship subservient to you to run in the sea by his command.
So here's the issue. I mean, are they referring to the desert as a sea is my concern here, because I mean, that's possible. But at this time period, I mean, Muslims were afraid to go on the water. I mean, they weren't allowed to even take a when what are we up to? The third or fourth caliph would not even allow wouldn't allow Muslims to go on the water, because they were too scared. And I'm the first guy who goes on the water to take a battle to the water. He has to take his whole family with him.
Yeah, but here's the question: if these people,
that's the catch. He's not allowed to go to war unless he takes his whole family with him, because if they die, they all die then.
If you lived in Mecca, how would you even know about ships? You wouldn't know about a ship. I mean, there were no ships around Mecca or Medina.
This is what the other argument for Petra. I mean, this is where that actually makes more sense. You have more of a chance of understanding that concept. This doesn't. If you're in Mecca, you won't have a clue. I mean, Muhammad's a traitor. I get that. He was a traitor. He may have traveled, but I don't think he. I'm curious if they're talking about desert ships, which would be camels.
Now here's a funny one. Okay. And he made the sun and the moon subservient to you. Okay, wait a minute. When was the last time that you controlled the sun and the moon?
Yeah, not that I know. I haven't seen that happen.
I mean, if the sun is subservient, that means the sun obeys me and the moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So and he made the sun and the moon subservient to you continuously, and made the night and the day subservient to you. Okay. So again, somebody forgot to give me my power so I can control the day and the nights. And he gives to you from all of what you asked of him. And if you number the graces of Allah, you cannot count them. Surely the human is unjust and infidel.
So all humans are infidels here,
I guess. But what is he complaining about?
If all humans are unjust, so he has reason to persecute everybody.
Yeah, but according to whoever was talking, if the world that was Moses. Moses says if the world becomes all infidels, Allah's going to be rich.
Yeah. So why believe Allah? I mean, stay infidel.
Okay, now we're back to Abraham.
Okay,
hey, can I just make a real quick comment a bit about the ships real quick running?
Yes.
This is just proof that Muslims invented motors.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to remember that one.
That's a good one.
Wait a minute. Now, nobody said the ship had to. We've had ships before. There were motors. I think it's a camel motor. It might be motivated by food or water. And we had ships
Okay.
run by human motors that used oars. So I don't know.
Hey, have we mentioned Abraham before?
Not
I mean,
in
I
this
don't think
book.
we've touched on Abraham,
I
right?
don't remember, to be honest.
I don't remember Abraham coming up. I mean, I remember Moses. I remember Noah.
Job, Lot.
Well, no, Job's
Not
not
Job, but
here.
Lot. Yeah.
No, but Job's not here in this. So far, we haven't come. We had Noah. We had the people of Noah, the people of Ad, and the people of Tammuz.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen Abraham. But now we finally get Abraham. This prayer of Abraham was made up by Muhammad. Yeah, the whole Quran was made up.
And very badly done.
35. I think we might even finish this chapter. And when Abraham said, "My Lord, make this country secure, put up some border walls, and protect me and my children, lest we serve the idols."
Wait a minute. Abraham needs. Okay, so if I'm reading this, Abraham needs someone to physically protect him, so he won't. That's
yeah, you're reading the same thing that I'm reading.
So he needs physical protection because otherwise he will serve an idol.
Yeah.
Or he needs to be forced to not serve an idol.
Allah needs to do he needs to do a fence around Abraham so that Abraham does not cross over and go into the idols. So, my Lord, make this country secure and protect me and my children, lest we serve the idols. My Lord, they have surely led astray many of the people. Who's they? The idols. The idols have power to lead people astray.
I thought it was Allah who was the deceiver.
I thought so too, but I mean, he did share his power, so maybe he's not the most powerful.
Might have given some of his powers to idols.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Allah leads you astray. Satan leads you astray. I'm getting the feeling that Allah and Satan are twins. You know, same mother, maybe different fathers. So whoever follows me, so surely he is from me, and whoever disobeys me, so surely you are forgiving, merciful. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that has to do with that sentence, but hey, Allah knows best. Our Lord, surely I have caused some of my offsprings to dwell in a valley which has no plants, near to your forbidden house.
Okay, wait. So this is all right. So let's point this out. Is our Lord, I have caused some of my offspring to dwell in a valley which has no plants, near to your forbidden house. Okay, a valley with no plants. So when you're reading the series, you hear about these things called lava fields, and that's one of the things that actually blew my mind when I first read that. I had to go look up what a lava field was, and you know, it's a you sit there looking at it, and it doesn't fit any description of the area around where it's supposed these are supposed to be in present day. So it's kind of confusing. But I mean, you don't think about a lava field. I mean, when we think of lava field, we think about, okay, lava flowing, and these are, and they're talking about areas around Mecca, areas around Medina. It doesn't make any sense. And here we have a place, a valley, where there's no plants. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't places like that, but it's just, those are deserts, and a valley where there's no plant.
I mean, it could be. And it says here, I have caused some of my offspring. Okay, which offspring? Because according to the Quran, Abraham only had two sons.
Yeah.
Right? So, maybe it's Ishmael. Ishmael is the one who went to live in the valley with no plants, near to the forbidden. Now, this forbidden house, have we read anything about a forbidden house in the other chapters? I'm assuming
I think we must have at least once.
They're referring to
of the Meccan mosque,
the Kaaba.
The Kaaba. No, and this still makes me laugh. They use this place today, and it's still referred to as the forbidden. Again, if it's forbidden, why are you there? Why are you giving worship to something that's forbidden? Why are you kissing a rock in a place that's forbidden? That tells me you're not listening. You don't listen very well.
Well, it also tells me that Abraham's offspring were pagans, because if you're not supposed to go to the forbidden house, and the forbidden house is only supposed to be for, worshiping Allah.
Again, it's if it's forbidden, regardless, if it's forbidden, you should not be there.
Yeah. Okay. We don't know what this forbidden house is. Again, Muslims, I'm pretty sure they'll tell me it's the Kaaba. Our Lord, so that they may perform the prayer, so make the hearts of the people, therefore, to yearn toward them. Toward them who? And provide them the fruit. Perhaps they may be thankful. I mean, this is so confusing.
Why would you be thankful to the guy who deceives you? I mean, we keep seeing over and over again that Allah deceives them. So there's no reason to be thankful to him. In fact, as we read earlier, it pays not to be. In fact, Allah does better when you don't believe.
Okay, so who are these people that Allah is saying, so that they may perform the prayer? So make the hearts of the people. What people? Therefore, to yearn toward them. Who's them? Is it? I mean, I have no clue. Is it the people? Is it the offspring that went into the valley with no plants? Okay, and provide them the fruit. Okay, Allah can only provide you one fruit. I hope it's a good one. Perhaps that they may be thankful. Okay, perhaps. Allah doesn't know if they're going to be thankful, but maybe. Okay, our Lord. I guess this is all Abraham. Our Lord, surely you know what we hide and what we reveal, and there is nothing to be hidden from Allah on the earth, neither in the heaven.
Okay. Who is speaking here? Because it's obviously not Allah.
I think it's Abraham.
Right, but I mean, this is supposed to be the speech of Allah, so this is obviously a contradiction here in the Quran.
My understanding is, if it doesn't say "kul" or "say," then it's Allah speaking. So all of this is supposed to be Allah speaking. Let me see. Let me go up and see if it said. This is Abraham speaking, because it says when Abraham said. So all this is Abraham. Okay, so this is Abraham. Okay, the praise.
And you get down to verse 39, it tells you it's Abraham.
The praise be to Allah, who has granted me in my old age Ishmael and Isaac. But the funny part, guys, nowhere in the Quran does Allah ever acknowledge giving Abraham Ishmael. He does Isaac many times. Ishmael, you're not going to find Allah saying, and I gave to Abraham Ishmael. No.
Sorry, it's not in the Bible.
Surely my Lord is the hearer of the calling. My Lord, make me...
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. If Allah is the hearer of the calling, who's doing the calling?
I don't know.
Because that means somebody's above Allah. There's no question about that. So if Allah has to be the listener, who's doing the calling?
Maybe it's the people in
I know who it is. It's Muhammad. He has to answer Muhammad.
Muhammad tells him. Allah just come down to the lowest heaven in the third of the night and ask people, "Hey, guys, I got 30-minute break. Okay, if you need anything, let me know before I have to go back to work, because
Hey, Allah, I don't want these guys coming to my house after a certain time. Tell them to go home."
Yeah, I mean that's like my Lord, make me the performer of prayer, and from my offspring. My Lord, make me the performer of prayer and from my offspring. Okay, so I
That
guess
doesn't make any sense.
it's bad, but he's saying to make him the performer of the prayer and also his offspring. But Allah can't put a sentence together that's coherent.
Well, again, that's that second language issue.
Yeah. Our Lord, and accept my calling. So now Abraham is calling. He's got that rotary dial telephone. Got to call out. Okay. Our Lord, forgive me and my parents, and to the believers when the reckoning day will arise.
That makes absolutely no sense.
And do not think that Allah is unaware of what the unjust do. Surely
why not? He doesn't care.
Yeah, I know. He's the one that made them unjust. Surely he only delays them until a day which the eyes will look in it. Okay. Okay. Hastening forward, their heads upraised, their gaze does not return to them, and their heart's ear vacant. What the hell is heart's ear? Hastening forward, their heads upraised, their gaze does not return to them. Okay, how does your gaze return to you?
Well, are they saying they're dead?
I guess they don't have any mirrors.
I mean, if I look at something, my gaze is not returning back to me. Only somebody else can return my gaze. You know, like when you went to the nightclubs and you saw a good
Well, I mean, the only way it works is if you have a mirror, and
right.
Everybody has a mirror.
I mean, in my heydays when I used to go to the nightclubs, I used to gaze at the women, and if they gaze back at me, that means okay, let's go. Oh, but I don't understand what Allah means by their heart's air vacant. Okay.
Well, are they
Hearts
dead
are
and not
empty.
seeing and not breathing anymore?
Well, their
I
hearts are
guess.
empty.
I
I would
guess.
say I would put it there. If their
I
hearts
guess
are full of air, they're empty. That's what the word vacant there means.
let me tell you, if your heart is good, if your heart's full of air, you're dead.
Well, I think that's part of that would make you we would in the Christian way of thinking that would make you the infidel of Christianity. If your heart is empty, your heart's supposed to be full of Christ, but this is. And we keep saying it pays. It makes Allah happy when you're an infidel, which I'm never gonna forget. I'm sorry. That's just gonna make me laugh till the last day.
44. I think we're going to run a little bit over 2 hours, but this I believe finishes in chapter verse 53, so we can knock this one out.
Okay.
And warn the people of the day the torment comes to them. Okay, but nobody knows the day, so how can you warn them of the day? I guess you can tell them about it in the future. So the unjust will say, "Our Lord." But wait a minute. If you're unjust, why would you be calling Allah? You don't believe in Allah.
Well, again, I mean, this is why the infidels keep laughing at Muhammad. And
I mean,
and
if I'm
Allah.
an infidel, why would I even bother with Allah? I wouldn't care. So the unjust will say, "Our Lord, delay us for a near time. We will answer your call, and we will follow the messenger."
But why? I mean, again, this is what Chris is giving us a hard time. Why use logic? Because we have to ask these questions because nobody else will.
Were it not that you swore before? Okay. I think that's incomplete, but that's okay. There is no ceasing of the existence for you.
Of existence? What? No
Of
ceasing
existence
of
for you.
existence. So we're not going to die? Is that what he's saying?
I guess I don't know. And you will dwell in the dwelling of those who were unjust to themselves. And it has happened. Okay, see, that's what I get for reading this damn book. And it has appeared to clear to you. Okay, it has. Okay, it has appeared clear to you how we dealt with them. I don't know, how did you deal with them?
Wait a minute. Well, with who?
And we put forth to you parables. Maybe that's why Allah failed parables. And indeed, they deceived their deception. Okay, and their deception is with Allah. and their deception was such that the mountain would pass away.
So Allah is such a good deceiver that he can make people believe things like, oh, a mountain passed away. A mountain died?
Man, these people's deception was really good.
Oh,
Okay,
my gosh. You know,
47.
it sounds like a magician.
I know.
I'm going to make this building disappear. I'm going to make this mountain disappear. You know, does that sound familiar? I mean, has anybody seen things like this done by people we call illusionists?
That's some good whatever it is.
Good peyote, is that what you're saying?
47. So do not think that Allah will fail his promise. We still don't know what his promise is to his messengers.
Or his covenant.
Yeah. Surely Allah is dear, a possessor of revenge.
But why does he want revenge if he wants us to be infidels?
I don't know.
Is he mad because people follow him?
Could be. A day the earth will be changed into another earth, and the heavens. Okay, a day the earth will be changed into another earth. Okay, and the heavens. Okay, so the earth and the heavens are going to change into other earths and heavens. Okay, and they will go forth to Allah. Who's they? The earth and the heavens are going to go forth to Allah.
I guess the heavens have their own mind.
I guess the
earth
one
has its own mind.
Okay. So the earth is going to be changed into another earth, and the heavens are going to be changed to other heavens, and they will go forth to Allah, the one that dominates. Okay. 49. And you will see the criminals on that day linked together in chains. So they're number 2, garments. So their garments will be of pitch, and fire will cover their faces. Oh, that doesn't sound pleasant at all. We know what.
When pitch gets set on fire,
wow. So I guess they're going to be covered.
That sounds like a pretty bad burn.
Their garments are going to be covered in pitch, and then the fire will cover their faces. Okay.
Yeah, that's a bad burn.
That Allah, see, again, I hate these verses. Whoever broke these verses, they broke these verses in the wrong places. That Allah may reward every soul for what it earns. Okay, you're talking about people who are going to have garments that are covered in pitch, and their faces are going to be fire is going to cover their faces. And then you go into
no matter how I read this, it just sounds like somebody got covered, something got set fire that is on their person, their clothing, and it's burning their face. I mean, it's just sick. I'm sorry.
That Allah may reward every soul for what it earned. Surely Allah is swift in the reckoning. This deliver to the people. Deliver what to the people? And let them be warned by it. Warned by what?
That he likes to set people on fire, maybe? Yeah. I don't know.
And you're going to be drinking piss. No, pus.
Pus, yeah,
water.
Right.
Yeah, water full of pus. Okay. But Allah is supposed to be merciful. That doesn't sound like being merciful. You're going to make me drink water full of pus. Okay. This delivered to the people. I guess he's talking about, let them know that I'm going to burn. I'm going to put I'm going to soak them in pitch. And then I'm going to burn their faces, okay? Give them, This delivered to the people and let them be warned by it, and that they may know that he is only one God. Ooh, if I have to be told that he is only one God, that means that there's a possibility that there might be more than one God. And to remind the ones with understanding. Okay, so you're only going to remind those with understanding. You're going to remind the other people because they don't understand that there is only one God. So people believe that there's more gods. Oh, that was it. It was only 50.
That's it. Yep.
52. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so we knocked out 2 chapters. So we are on what? Chapter 15. The Rock. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Marion Rose, not good. Adam was known to walk around.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Larry, thank you. I see Chris is here. I don't know what happened with DL. Larry, anytime you want to come on the show, just let me know. Chris, thank you for showing. If you're still here, Marion, Darcy, everybody else, thank you. We had, I think, 10, 11 people. Next week, we'll do the chapter of the rock. I wonder if that's the rock that ran off with Moses's clothes.
Oh, a thief, a rock that steals.
Yes.
And
so, ladies,
it's a what was that show that did that? It's like Fantasia. There's a little, fantasy film where for kids where a rock beast. Yeah, come on, this is just getting worse.
Hey, this could be it. So, anyway, thank you, folks. Thank you. Fantastic show. Thank you very much. Hey, we do it just for you guys because we're losing our brain cells here. I'm starting to read stuff that are not in the book because all the sentence structure is so bad that
we got to keep remembering that Allah doesn't know Arabic very well.
And I just start reading things like Allah would, like Allah would write them. I'm reading them, and I'm like, whoa, that's not in the verse. Okay. Unfortunately, Osama couldn't make it. I was kind of hoping he would. I'm going to have to fire him. Yes, Marion, this is a comedy. I try to tell Muslims, listen, this is a good book to read when you're constipated. Guaranteed to cure from all the laughing that you will get. So thank you. I'm going to end the broadcast. I don't have an exit intro or whatever you want to call it. I do have one, but I have so many videos I can't find it anymore. Anyway, all right. I'll see you guys next week. Some of you guys I will see on Clubhouse.
Hey, stay tuned tonight for the show. Show
10 o'clock.
At 10. It's 10 Eastern time. We're going to be talking about the 10 commandments that really are missing from the Quran, but what do they say, and are they in the Quran? That's what we're going to be talking about tonight.
Well, I've had a few Muslims tell me that they are, but when I asked them, can you show them to me? They haven't been able to. Anna, good to see you. I think you're a little late, but good to see you. Sister Dragon, thank you very much. Like I said, we do this for you guys. We're willing to lose our brain cells so that you don't lose yours. Okay. All right, guys. Let me end the show. See you guys next week.